Hello everyone, welcome to Infinity Stack. In this video, we will build complete MERN Stack CRUD operation. So we can add title here and automatically it will add in the UI, and we can edit it, and we can also remove the from the list. So after watching this video, you will completely clear about how backend and frontend work together and how you can able to build the full stack application. So this will be a very beginner friendly tutorial. So I will start from scratch. So I will recommend you to watch the video. So I will first start the API part. Then after that, second part I will complete the frontend. In frontend, I will use the Next.js. So stay with us and please subscribe to our channel and support us. Thank you. Hello everyone. Uh, so let's start it. First of all, let's open a cmd git cmd. So here go to in the D directory. We will create a first folder. Let's create a folder name mk man cut. So go to into cd man cut. Okay. Now let's create another folder for server mk CRUD server. Okay, now go to man CRUD. So let's go to into that folder using cd server. Okay, now we need to install few. Do the npm init. Let's give it npm init. Let's say what's up. It says that package name man CRUD server. We say yes, man CRUD server. Then version will be 1. Description, let's say that simple CRUD operation. In point, entry point, okay, index.js, we want index.js. Then text command, we don't need. Git repository, currently we put empty. Keywords, let's say CRUD. Author, let's say infinity stack. License, we put empty, just press enter. Type enter. So if all, then we just use the case. So now we put a code dot. So we'll go in this package. Here we need to install few things. So first of all, we need to install npm install Express. We need to install Express. Then we need to install the Mongoose for database connection. Mongoose. Then we need to install the course for course policy. Then we need to install the .env. So and also another thing, we have to node-mon. So we start installing. Just wait a second. Yeah, it's installing. Now we need to create let's create a folder called index.js. So we can see that all the things is installed, simple CRUD decorations. So the course.env. So here we need to now use that const. So we will initialize express. Let's say we initialize express. We hide this portion. Let's say initialize express require from express. We need to initialize express. Then we need to initialize the .env. .env. Require, it will be also .env. Then we need to import the mongoose require. After that we have to now initialize our app. So for that, let's initialize our app using const app equal to express. So express. So we have initialized our apps. Now we need to do for course. So let's import course to require course. Sorry, we forget about the course. Now we have imported the course. Now we need to use app.use for express JSON. For getting the configuration file, we need to use the .env.config file. And let's initialize port cons port. For now it will be, let's say, process dot env dot port, or we can say that 8000, that will be our dummy port, or we can for that dot we need to create a dot env file. So here you can say that port, let's say 8000. Yeah, we will get it from there. Now all things okay, and now we need to use another middleware, app dot use, and that is the course device. So okay, now to check our app is started, let's say app dot get. So initial the simple point, simple route, we will get a request and get a response. Yes. So let's force them hello world. So hello, so that we can understand that our server is running. It's now fine. Now we need to use the app dot listen to get the listening. So we will get from the port 1, and then there is the callback function. So in that callback function, let's use so let's say that console dot log, just of checking for that listening from the port. Let's say give our port number, so that we can sure that our app is running. So clear, let's put it clear, and then we could need to go to in package.json. Here we need to use the does it not yeah, we need to use the start command. So let's say start, and it will be the node index.js. So we forget the comma here, and for continuous running we need to use the start, another is start dep. We will use the like in, let's say, nodemon index.js. So if we now start npm start for our first command, we see our server is running. Let's check it. So if we just log in for 8000 port, whether is our server is running or not. Yeah, so our Node.js server is running. So now here we can say that instead of that we use the npm run start dep. So this is because if we use npm run start dep, so if we change something, so server will automatically, we do not need to restart again. So that's why we will use that. Okay, and now we need to put our database connection. So we will use MongoDB for that. So let's go in the MongoDB, so to connect our database. So it's loading. So you need to sign in here. So you need to sign up here if you don't have account. It's very simple. You can sign in with the Google also. Let's I use the Google. So I use this platform. So it's taking time for signing. Okay. After when you signing, so you have this option will come. So for that you need to just create a new project. So if we have for creating new project, you will go to there, and you need to create a new project here for create a cluster. So you need to create a new cluster. So let's use free, maybe free, or sorry for not there. So just we need to go back to there. So we need to go back and view the organization. So here you need to create a new project. Let's create a new project, and let's name it the man cut, and key value will be same, project owner. So let's create a project. To create a cluster, we have a man card project. So create a cluster. Here we have the free option. So we will use the free. Then create a deployment. Just wait a few seconds. Yeah, this is our DB user and this is the password. So we need to store this TP password and username and password, so it's needed from there. So now create a database user. We have created, yeah, our database user has created. Now we need to create a choose a connection. Let's do the connection button. We use the drivers, and here everything is given. That okay. So we just need to copy it, and in .env there is we need to put let's say our MongoDB. Name it DB. Let's name it okay. And here the username and password is given already. So okay. Now we need to put just the one thing that in MERN CRUD. So after that we need to just here put CRUD. Here we need to put your project name. Okay. So then now we need to connect with our database here. So let's check how we can connect with our database. For that we will start the, let's say, comment it out. Let's say we have commented connect db. So we need to use the const, let's say variable connect. We will use the async function here, so that let's put into the try catch. Let's use in the try catch block so that it will be easy for us. So if error, we will throw the error. Now await, we will so await response mongoose dot connect. Here we need to that process dot env. The file we have put here. Let's say what's the name of the file. If we check our .env, so MongoDB, just copy it to our save version. So sorry, MongoDB. Okay. So let's check whether it's connected or not. Console dot log db connected. This will message show. So yep, we need to call that function. So and we have also that another option, that if mongoose dot connection dot on, here we can put that this connected. If we have found that, then we will get a callback. We receive a callback function, and here we put the console dot log disconnected, and then another also that mongoose dot connection dot on. If they're connected, then also one success callback. In that callback we will put a console log connected. Okay, and now we need to call it here. We need to call inside that function. So let's say that connect function, so that let's call it, check it whether it's working, listening from port. Oh, actually we update the .env, so we need to restart our server again. So let's restart, run, start, left. Let's check it whether it's our database is connected or not. Just waiting. Try catch. Let's check whether its database is connection. Database is not connected yet. Let's check it out. So here is saying that injecting .env2. Maybe we have the .env injection. So maybe we have now .env issue. So instead of that, I got it. So maybe we are facing the problem in .env issue. Let's now figure out that. So what is that? We use the .env.config. Is that any issue on that? Let's for that now let's skip this MongoDB in that portion directly instead of process. Let's just check, or do we have the correct name? MongoDB. Maybe, sorry, let's try. Let's try it out. why our database is not connected. Let's check in the database. So here we need to figure out why. So in that database we need to fix in the database network, so it's giving error. Sorry, it's taking time. I think it's my network issue, so I need to change my network. Okay. Actually that was my internet issue, so I have fixed that my internet. So now let's check it and start the server again. Let's see what happened. I think it's now working properly, it will connect properly. So if not, then we have to go to we have to change the network address. Here we have to put a IP address list, and here need to put that allow from anywhere. So let's confirm it, so that allow from anywhere approved. Just wait a second. It's also giving me error because we are not that. So just wait a second. We need to now activate. So now if we have refresh all, if we have close all, and now we see that DB is connected. So now as our DB is connected, we need to care. So we can start now. Okay, now create a folder called middleware. Here let's give a global. We want to add, let's put a global error middleware. This will be our global middleware.jsx, and create another folder called routes. Here all the routes will comes. Then another for that model. We will have the model. So in the model, so let's say that to-do.js. This will be our model. So in the route, let's put the to-do routes.js. Okay, and another folder, we need that controller folder. So here controller folder. So in that controller, let's name it to-do controller.js. Okay, so first we need to create the model. So let's create it. So for that we need to just use the const mongoose. So install mongoose. Let's choose mongoose. Choose the mongoose. Everything is correct. We are using the mongoose. Now let's create a to-do schema. For that, const to-do. Let's name it to schema for the card. Schema. Let's use that new. It is the new mongoose dot schema. Here will be one object. So first property will be the title. Let's use the title. Sorry, title. And here the type of title is string. Definitely type is string. Then we need to put the required. Say that requires true, and let's say the title is required. Let's give a message that title is required message. So trim, trim is true because we don't want to add extra white space. Check. And let's say maybe it's needed, but complete for just that. Let's say completed. Type will be boolean. Default be false. Now module so export. We'll do simple CRUD operations, but we will later update in to do. So first of all, our focus is into CRUD operations, then full the to do schema. Yep, that's all. Now we will need to create a controller for that. So now we will create a global error handler, so that I need to create a global error handler first, then I will create a global error handler. So let's start by const error handler error rec. We all know that next will be if we have to handle the next. Then let's first const status code. Let's say status code to rest status code if not is equal to 200. Then we show that status code, let's say 500. Then rest status equal to status code. Here we will put the to convert to JSON, and in JSON we just use error checked, that we put the error dot message or a global message like invalid server. Yeah, so that is our global. So now we need to use it in this is app.use, so where we have used the global middleware, so we need to use this is in the app.use function. So let's call it error handler. So we need to import that error handler const. This will be our global error handler. Middleware. Yeah, okay. Now if we check DB connected, everything okay. Now let's create our first controller. Well, let's create our routes first, then we create a controller. So for creating routes, we need to just follow the, we need to then use the const express require express const router. We need to import the router from express dot router will give us express, and now we need to module dot export that router. So we have export that router. We need to export that router. We are exporting that router. Yep. So now let's create router dot get. Here will be empty, so let's say it will be our controller. So for that, let's create a controller first. So we need to first create a get controller. For creating a controller, we need to first import our to do schema that we have created for CRUD. So to do, let's use it require. Let's do that model we have in the model folder, just stack that, then into to do. So yep, we have import our to do schema or schema name to do. So let's check first create let's create a create to do controller. So let's create a create controller. So for creating, we need to use the const create to do. We need to call the async function request, then we get response, and also then also the next. So if we now we will put obviously in the try catch statement, and we use the in middle next, so we pass the error for that we pass the error in global error middleware. So that we created. Now let's get from title, because we just only use the title here, rec dot body. So yep. Now if we need to check if no title, so if no title, then just return a warning, because res dot status. Let's give a status code 400 and return a warning. Let's give a error message so that it can show title is required. Okay. Now let's create a to do. Let's a new to do. Just title here. And now we will use the avoid. We will save in the database. For that, use avoid to do dot save. So it will simply save in the database, and after that we will give a message status code. So let's give a message proper res dot status 201. It's 201 is success dot JSON. Let's give a success true. Then message will be successfully created. Then we pass the data as well. Data is to do. Now format this portion. Let's check whether it's work or not. Just format it, and we will use the module.export create to do. Okay, we have export our create to do, and now we can get it here. So instead of route, let's give a post. Let's import that. Yeah, we have imported. Now we need to put that route here, so let's name it to do routes. These routes to require. Let's import from to do routes. Okay, now we have import our routes. So now we need to use that for, so we can just do one thing, that we can put our global error handler. So this is our global error handler, so we can just, sorry, we have just use it here, so we don't need to use here. We need to use the app.use after the DB connection here. So app.use the error handler, and we need to use the app.use here. Let's say API SS to do's, and what will be the route names? So this is our route names. Now we said that app.use. Okay, we need to use the app.use function. We have to just put it app. We don't have correct syntax. We have to use that here so that properly working. .use app.use course. Yep. Now we still say that middleware functions, because we are using user. So it's giving that app.use middleware function. So what's happened? Because let's check that this is the function. So why this error showing? Let me check. If we go to there, okay, we don't have export yet, so we need to export it. Let's export here module dot exports directly. Let's export directly. Yes, let's export directly. So let's export. So instead of that, we can export it here from here. So let's export from there. Module.exports to error handler. Yeah, I think now is our issue is fixed. Okay, now let's test in the postman, so whether it's created successfully or not. For that, let's check in the postman. We open our postman and also check our in the database. If we go to our project, so if we check the database collection, currently there is no collection, but we will see collection here. Let's check API. Let's give API / to do. Let's test it post. We need to put a body here. We will put a JSON title. Let's say new to do. Let's post it. Let's see what's happening. It's giving error. So what's that? Cannot. It's 404. Why? Let's check our API name. So basically our API name is to-dos, so we mistakenly added to-dos. Now if we post, we can check successfully created MSS and get. So if we check in our database collection, let's see, we will check so if we check in our database collection, we will check a to-do of Chinese comes. Now we need to create a get all to-dos function. So let's create a get all controllers. So let's now create just copy get controllers. Let's go for that. We will create a get to-dos. So let's just now get to-dos sync. We will get request response, then the next. Now here also we put the try catch follow, and in the next we will give through that error in middleware. Now if we have get to-dos, we will find from to-do. Now we will find all the to-dos here. So if we now status JSON to-dos. So yeah, we will get that. Let's follow our pattern, so that JSON. Let's follow this pattern, so it will be good. Yep. Now if we check using gets method, okay, we need to export this as well. So let's export it, and we'll get from there. We imports. Okay, now if we check from this, yeah, so we will get all the to-dos from get method. Now we need to use the edit method for that. So for edit we will use the put. Let's use it put input. We will get unique. We will get ID from is to do. Now create a put controller. Create update controller. So just copy this from that side. Update controller. So update. Let's say update to do. Update to do. Here we will get the title from body, and also we will get title from body. Now there is also warning, but we need to just get our previous to do. How do we do that? That's we will go avoid our data model to do dot find by ID. This is special from special method from Mongoose, that find by ID we will get from reg dot params dot ID. So now we will get special that to do that we want to update. So let's give instead of this error, and this let's give if no to do, say no to do found. Let's say no to do found. Let's rename it no to do found, and so then we just need to update that. So to do dot title is equal to new title, so if they want to update it, and yeah, save. Let's name it that updated successfully updated. Okay, now if we want to check whether it's working or not, let's check it. Sorry, we have to import that. Let's use the update to do. We have to export that. We are exporting that option, and if we go to do update to, yep, this is our update to do. So if we now check specific to do voice, this is the idea of our to do. So just put it, and here we will apply the put method. Let's say title to do 1 2 3. Let's give it. Yeah, it is updated successfully. Now if we get if we just use the get operator, we will see that this to do is updated. Yeah, this to do title has been updated. So that's it. Now we need to use the delete. So for that we will delete also same router dot delete. So here just need to call the delete to do controller. So let's build a delete to do. So for that we will I just need to use the same logic. I need to find it and delete it. So let's delete to do. Here exactly same logic. So in delete we will do not receive any response from the body, so we do not know that, but we need that. So id, so we will find that specific id that wants to delete. Then no to do found. Okay, that's message. After that we don't need that. Just here we can do find by id and delete. So this way we can just put delete, do not know that, and just here then they're successfully deleted. Okay, so in that case delete is happening. So if we now just check our delete to do and just put a delete to do, yep, and now let's format the selection for, let's say, delete. We want to delete this. Let's delete this. What message is? Yeah, it says successfully deleted, and for deleted we doesn't need to give that deleted options. So in the controller, if we go in the controller, we doesn't need to give that data. Successfully deleted. Now if we check in the, let's say, get method, we'll see there is no data found. Data is empty. Now let's create a one data. Let's create post. We see one is created. So that's it for our API side. So next we build the client side and connect with both so that it will be easy. So in previous video I have built a REST API. Now in this video I will build a client side using Next.js. So let's install the Next.js. If you haven't watched the previous video, so I would recommend to watch the pause this video and watch my previous video how to build the API, then watch this. So after all video, then I will merge together. So now for that we need to install the Next.js. So get started. It's very simple. So we got the installation process. Let's see the installation process of Next.js. So if we click on installation process, so it say that this is, so we will use the npm. So let's say that npm npx. So yep, let's name it MERN CRUD server client CLI. So this will be our project. No, we don't want to use the TypeScript right now, and no ESLint, Tailwind, okay, no, and the recommended app router, okay, no turbo pack, and no, and on the same time it's taking time for installation. So it has successfully installed. So if we check now, so let's check it. What's that happening? Just okay, our successfully installed, but let's check whether it's installed. So now we have opened this two. This is our server and this is the client. So now access into the let's first start that let's go into the cd man card. So go to into the client folder. So we just need to initialize, we need to work on the client first. So let's start the server. So using npm run dev. So let's start the client. So using the, so let's see, our Next.js app is running now. Here in page.jsx we just remove current all, we don't need to that. So we will design all that. So let's say that we don't, let's leave it in infinity stack. So start. So yep, we have that. Now let's design the global.css. In global.css we doesn't need that. Okay, dark is okay. In background, let's change the background color. So let's make it linear gradient. Let's keep it 175. Let's give it df 9. Let's make it to 0% and left side on 0%. Then another one, we want in the middle part we want white. So let's check it white. Let's say 50% portion will be white. Then on the left percent we want, so this is, so this will be our background. Let's make it 100%. Yep, this is our background. And now color will be the same. Font family, let's make it inter. Just about that we want to add inter. Okay, and min height, we need to put the minimum height 100 and 100 viewport height. Display flex, because we want to our cart in the middle portion. Then align items will be center, it will be center. Justify content will be center. Okay, that's it for my body part. Now we need to install some packages. So let's install it. So we need to, so this is now in the center, so we want in the middle portion. So now let's divide into these two segments so that we can easily start and write codes. Okay, now we need few, let's scroll it up. Okay, perfect. Yep, now I think okay for us. Now we need to install some packages like npm I axios, the most important packages. Then we need to install, so we want to add some animation. So for that we will use the AMR motion. Then we will use then we will need to use the, for icon we will use the site react. For notification we need to use the react toastify. So let's see the react toastify. So this is the react toastify package, we need to install that as well. Yep, we have put the installation. Just wait a few seconds, so it will start soon. Yeah, our packages, all the packages is installed. If we check in the package solution, so all the packages are installed. Now I would like to start a bit. I would like to create a custom hook, because we need to do CRUD operations. So we need to put get, put, post or delete all the requests. So that's why I want to create a here's let's create a utils folder. So where I want to first use the, let's use just I want to use the for custom post, use post. So we will create a custom hook. Let's say how we can use it. So first of all, we need to use let's say RFC. So automatically it's come from React, but we don't need the React because it is now custom hook. So here we will need two things: share initial value and method. So we can change the method because there is a we can put delete post. We need to handle through this issues. So now let's const is declare use state use state. Let's declare is here will be the initial value, and if not then empty. Then we want to handle all things, like we don't need to have error, so give a set error as well. So we will use that use state. Let's say null. And now for const we'd like to have loading. Set loading, it is important. Set loading is equal to use state false. Okay, set loading is false. Now let's use but basically we just need that return portion. So we will use the post data, because let's use the post data. Const post data is equal to, here we will first parameter will be our URL, then we need the payload that we want to pass from the content, then we need a callback function, and each toast we want to show the toast warning as well. Then success message, if we want to add some success message, let's say this error message. If we want to add some custom error message, we have the option as well. So, and also the set submit. So this the parameter we will pass in the function. Now if we now use that set loading, if set loading true, then if there is set loading, then only we call the set loading put true. And Axios, we need to call the Axios, and here we will push the method. By default the method will be post. So if there is no method, then the default will be the post. Then there is URL payload, and also we see that in the second option we have the callback function, so payload, and now we need to pass this header. We know that we have the common headers. It's not the next headers, so we know we need to pass headers every time when we post from client side. So let's put the headers. Let's initially just put the content type. This will be the application /JSON. Okay, and yeah, we have to put the header. So in our application we don't have the authorization worry, so that's not the case. Now then we will use the then method, which is pretty straightforward. Then we will get response, and we will put our response in data and check if there is callback function pass. Then we only put this data on the callback. We have checked this condition, and now if in the top we put the set loading true. Now we need to put the false so that it will hide. So let's hide the set loading. Now if is toast, so someone want to toast, then we want to show the toast message. So what I do, React Toastify, we have installed it already. Toast dot success, and the success message will show here. If we get res dot data dot message, so first option one this. If not, then we will get from the success message If not, then we will have the successfully created. So that will be if we put if toast. So now we need to handle the catch error as well. So for that we use the catch method. So then catch. So we will get the error here, and on that error we will now log console. We will set res. So if we get error, so we will put response will be the initial value, and now set error, we use the set error to be error, and now our set loading will be false as well. So same way, if toast message we found, just we have copy and paste. So here we so if sometimes if set submitting is false, so I will add the false option as well. So toast.1, we want to that one, we want to give that warning message is and just give that failed, instead of success message give error message. Okay, and now this is the function. So we need to return from here. So what we will return? So we'll return 4 things after that catch. Let's return. So this is actually my function. Okay, this is our function. Now we want to return it here from here. So we will return, what will return response first, then we will return the post data, then loading, set res, then error, then set loading. So this will be done. So now this will be our custom hook. We can handle the update, delete, everything here. So we can handle update, delete, post. So okay, now this is our infinity stack. So let's create our page.js first. So initially, so we need to just let's say that we want to get the to-dos. So let's say to-dos to set to-dos. Let's use state. Here we don't need the image, so we will remove that image part. So as we import the use state, so we know that this is now a client component, so you need to use the use client effect here. And if we just reload it, so nothing happened. Now we want to change the input. Cons want to input as well. Set input for getting the input. Now if we have use state, okay, we have now we want to get the loading. Yeah, we need to show as well loading. Now we can do set loading. So use that will be false. We need to use the currently that's it from now. Now let's start our designing. So the dot w full, let's start the first, we want to w full card, and let's give the padding will be the 4. Now start the motion. Let's say that motion dot deep sorry, slash. Let's use the motion. So we need to input the motion. So for that we will input the motion from the framework motion one. So let's use the motion from framework motion. We have imported. Now motion dot tips. We want to add animations here. So let's say class name would be, let's give it class. We want to the class W will be full, max WMG, then empty 16 P6. In small version we want to be the padding will be the 8, and the grounded to Excel. Instead of to Excel, let's put our Excel. So we can design the animation here. In initial option, in initial we want to see the opacity will be 0, then and the scale will be 0.95, then animate. So in animate option, so we just want to in animation we want to just change the opacity will be 1 and the scale would be 1. So let's give a transition so that it looks better. So transition will be duration will be 0.4. So okay, duration. The error message is gone. Now we can check now. Our page is empty. Let's start with adding some. Let's use the title of that. Let's say class name will be. Let's first add the title. MERN Stack CRUD. So let's give 3 Excel. Font semi-bold. We save it just. We see the MERN Stack. Let's give the text center. MB will be 6. We see our text is now in the center. Now for input, let's create a component. So here in the F folder, we will create a components folder. Let's create a components folder. So okay, we create a components folder. In the components, we will first create input. So let's say to do input. So let's now design the input page first. So let's say input. So we will import that input here. Do input. This is the input, and then we need another pages like list. So for showing the list, so we will want to show the list. To do list.js. Let's see. To-do list. So let's just import to-do list as well. To do list. Yeah, we have now imported as to-do list as well. So this component, maybe we need another component that is like loader. So we need a loader component just because we want to loader. So this will be the loading. So we'll design that as well. And also for deleting, we need another one that is confirm model, because when we delete, a pop-up will come. So for that also we have created. So now this is gone. Now design the card design. So we use the class. So now let's design into let's go to the class, and we want to design for the class. So now let's call the class. In the class, we will use the, let's say, background would be the RGBA 255. We want to add some opacity. Yep, that's it. So we want to add some backdrop for glass morphism design modern. Backdrop filter would be blur. So here would be the blur. Let's say 14 pixel. Border 1 pixel solid. Let's say RGBA. So we want 0 here. Then also 0. Now we will add 0.8. That's one. Now border radius. So we want to add the border radius for, let's say, we want to make the curve. So let's let that. So now we see that little glass morphism finishing here. So now let's design our input field. So now let's design the input field. So for designing input field, I think we need to some parameter that we need to pass from our pages. So let's say the pass parameter will be the input that we want to put the value. So let's put it and put, and another parameter we need to use the set input field as well. So another param. So here we have to like handle the, we need to add the on add function. So let's see const on add. Let's just name it on add function. So we want to pass as well, we need to pass that function as well. Okay, and then we will pass the loading stage, because yep, we'll pass the loading as well. So if we check in, go to in the input field, here we will get the first input. Let's copy, so for safe case, let's copy all the things so that it will be safer. So now paste it here, and just about that input, remove one by one input. So inputs, then there is set input, then on it, and then the loading. Okay, now so it's now your free, I guess. Yep. Now it will be like we have the two buttons. So let's put div dot. Yes, we need to use the flex because the button on the then wait. Then we will use the w full with full, and in the input field, then import the input field. Here we have the, so type will be text, input type will be text, and placeholder, let's give a placeholder and new task. Our value will be the input that we'll get from the home page. And on chance, let's say on chance we want to get event, we want to put events, and that event will be the set input e dot, we will get, well, we will want to get the value from the input field. So how is that? We will get the value, so on chance. And then on key down, so we have an option on key down, we want to add the on key down event. So in events we want to just key, let's say let's find the key, this key. So if the key is enter, then we want to call the add function, on add function, on add function. Okay, now let's design the class name. So let's design the input field. Padding will be 3, rounded. Let's give it Excel so that looks better. BG will be white. You see that padding will, input field is come. We want to add the border, so let's keep the border color to gray. Border gray 200 is simple. Let's give the placeholder color to placeholder gray 50 200, and focus we don't want outline. Next the text gray 900. If we save it, so this is or let's change the color in focus to focus. Let's give a ring to focus. Let's check it. Now it's okay. And we see that we have missing the transition. Maybe we can hide the border as well, so we don't need the border. Let's say border none. Now we need to border, so soon Yep, we need the borders, so but we need to handle the outline. So okay, outline, let's save that focus. Outline will be none. None. Let's check it. Yeah, now it's good. It's looking good. And after that we will add the button. So we need to add the button. Here we will add the class name. Let's design the button first. So we need to, as we pass that, so we need to, let's design it dynamically. So let's give the button color BG blue 500, and no need to hover. Text will be white. Okay, text will be white. Let's say rounded will be Excel, and transition as well. Flex items will be center, justify is center. And now if there is a loading state, so we want to like say give the opacity. So if in the loading state we want to say op, so let's give it opacity in 60, and cursor will be not allowed. So not allowed. Yep. So that's the thing. Okay, what's happening? Okay, we have done putting another conditions. Yep, now it's okay. Let's import the plus icon from loose site. Now let's give the size to 20. Let's check it. Yep, now it's perfect. Let's give it cursor pointer. Now here on click, let's give the on click event on it, call the function, and disabled when the loading is 2. Now if we check correctly, you see this perfectly. And now we need to first design the we'll get let's check it. We need to get the design the on add functionality. So in on add, so what we'll do, we need to post from that. So for that we have imported like const. We have created the custom hook, so let's import the custom hook our. So first parameter will be the response. Then the second parameter will be the post response, and the third parameter will be the post response loading. So this will be the loading. So set post response. So this will be the function. So where we add the step. Now use the xeos.post. Okay. So here the initial value will be null. Then there will be the post method, but by default it is post. We don't need that. Yeah. Now for that, so we just need to put this, and we need to call so our server. So let's run our servers first. So this is our current app. So now we need to go back to run our server. cd MERN CRUD server npm run start dep. So this is our server. Our server is running. If we check in the postman, let's check it. Yeah, our server is running. Now we want to this post API, we want to apply this postman. So and so to have that, okay, we know in the post response we will have the first URL, then there is the second parameter will be our payload. So in that case payload will be title. So if we check our postman response, let's check it, body, so we see that we need to pass title. So if we just have to our code title, and what will be our title, so that is the input we are getting from that input. So yep, input. and then the third parameter, in the third parameter we'll get a callback function. Yep, we'll get one callback function where we'll get the response. So yeah, and in the fourth parameter we have seen that it is toast. If we check in our use, so in the fourth parameter, like this is my post data. So if I just open it, so first parameter URL, second parameter payload, third parameter callback function, and second parameter is toast. So if we put is toast 2 here, so look, it is the parameter, it is not a, so we need to put sequence. So now if we in the page, and if we put true, let's put true, and our application is one. But for adding toast, so let's React toast, we need to use the React toastify. Here we need to import React toastify in the global. So let's check it. Just escaping how we import it. So yeah, so we need to just two things, toast container. Okay, so we will add this toast container here. So here, and now this toast container on our apps layout. So yep, it's now okay, fine. So now let's try to add a things, new to do. So if we just click on add button, is that successfully created? So if we want to test that whether it's created or not, just want to get it. Yeah, it's successfully created. We see that our data is successfully created, but maybe there would be better if here would be the loading option. So we are missing that. So why that is happen? Because we are passing the loading. So here the loading will be not that. So this will be the loading. So if you now just pass that another to do, let's say another to do, you see a disable option is happening. So that's what we want. And also we get a response like success. So if we get a success message, if res those success, then we want to clear the set input field. So that let's say clear the set input field. So if we now check it, and sorry, why my code is just, so if we now check it again, yeah, my if success, my to do is input is clear. Now we have able to create it. Now how do we able to get it? So it's simple. So we need to use the use effect here. Just format this selection. Okay, just format this selection. So here this is how we have a response. So we need to, it's simple, we need to just call the use effect here and get it from there. So how do we do it? We have the to do variables. So yep, so this is my onAdd function. Now let's call our use effect. So it will be top of that, or we can do use effect. Let's call it use effect. So here initially will be empty. So now let's do set loading. So initially set loading will be true. Then we have to call our function. Let's make it the function. Now so we'll need to create a function. Let's create and let's name it const fetch data with loading. So let's say that first parameter will be the URL, then will be the set loading, then will be the or we just have the function. Let's do it. So fetch loading, here we will just call the function. Let's create it fetch loading. Inside fetch loading, initially we're gonna put the try catch. Let's use the try catch block here. Let's use the try catch block statement here, and here initially set loading will be true, then we will get response so we have already response object, so await. So we need to use the async function to get the response await axios. We need to import the axios here. Here we will put this URL where we get it up. Now we will say todos res.data, and let's throw the error, and here after that put the finally option where we say that set loading will be false. So that's it. Now just about looking, if we just have call, we need to just call that function here. Yeah, we have called it. Now if we have check it and nothing happened, yeah, we have called the function. And if we just check it, let's keep the todos, let's console the todos, console.todos. If we check in the UI, inspect it, and let's just refresh this. Yeah, our API is called and we see there is 4 todos. So now we need to view the todos list. So for that it's easy, we need to pass the todos list into the function. So we need to pass the todos list on the todos component. So let's pass it here, todos. Okay, then we have the, let's create, instead of on it, let's put another is on edit, so that edit. Yep. And here instead of that we can just remove this portion. We don't need that as well because this is not needed. Let's say edit response, just as we did it. So edit, let's say just edit okay. Instead of that we use the put method. We know that put method. Here just we're gonna add the edit method, set of post, and in edit we need a ID, so we have the ID, so then we need to pass the ID. So this is the onMap function. Now on edit add function, I will add this on edit function here. Then we have the loading for on edit. So the loading would be this, sorry, we have one, so edit response. So just then, yep. Now if I go to let's design that load, and also we need to the delete as well. So for that let's just delete, do for delete part. We do not need that option, just remove, that's the option. So we have the post, delete option. So here we can just same copy, just we need to just on delete. Here one thing, in delete option we can't directly delete it. So when if response is success, we need to call this function as well, and delete in the case of delete as well. So we need to call that too. But the problem is on delete we can, okay, so we need to on delete we need to show a pop-up model so that it will be more efficient and easier. So well, now let's first design our to-do list section. So if we go to our to-do list component here, so if we go to our to-do list component, Here initially the passing parameters, passing pops we have to getting. So on edit we are getting from on edit. Then we pass to dos. Then we need to pass the on delete as well. So we have forget that. We need to pass the on delete. On delete. Sorry. This was a loading. Okay. Loading. We see that on delete. Okay. Now first if loading, then definitely if loading, then we need to return loading state here. So for that let's say p. Why this p? Let's use the p tag. Let's use the class name. Text will be center. Text. Okay. 686. Let's give an animation. Animate pulse. So here's a loading. Just now here another thing we need to check. If loading, if my to-dos dot length, if my to-dos dot length is equal to 0, then we need to return as well. We need to show flex. Let's design it. Flex. Go. Center. Justify center. Let's say the clipboard. Clipboard, then class name. Let's we need to show some clipboard here. So icon h will be b3, and opacity will be 15. Yep. And give a message like that no text 1. So no tasks yet. Okay. And finally we will show our data. So we want to show in the UL list. So let's show it. UL class name. Let's design our class name. Let's put it space y3. And margin top will be 6. Then let's give a max height. Let's give 400 for max height. Pixel. And overflow y will be auto. And now that's it. Now we have the animate presence, which is in the farmer motion. And now we will add the to-dos. So now we will map all the to-dos here. So to-dos.map. Here we will find the to-do. Here in the map function we will get the callback. So we will get the to-do and is to-do. After that we will just show this to-do on the A. So let's say motion dot li. So if we just have start that, here we need to pass the key. It's not mandatory, but we need to pass to-do dot id. So we have the id in it is to-do. Then we need to pass, let's say motion. So I guess we have maybe wrong. Yep. Now format the selections. What we need to do? Key. We need to pass key. then we need to same as well initial. So we want in initial we want the opacity will be 0, then y will be -10, and in animated we want opacity will be 1 and y will be 0. Exist also opacity 0, y will be 10. Transition, let's put a transition, transition duration let's give 0.2 seconds. Now for that let's create another component for to do. Okay, we have to create it for, let's create to do item. So to do item, just so in the to do item let's just copy see to do item to. So now in the to do item list we need to pass two things. First one is to do, let's pass we need to pass from that on edit, let's pass on edit function as well, and let's need to pass from on delete as well. So on delete, so we need to pass this from the this pass this in the component. So list here just add a component, so to item, so we name it to do item. Sorry, you have to do item. Here we will pass this for components. So now let's say for to do there will be to do, we know that on edit, we know in the on edit, so yeah, pass on edit as well, and on delete will pass on, so on delete will pass on delete. Now we see that our to do is showing because we have 4. So if we go to into to the to do's, okay, now here we need to let's keep, we need to some state for controlling the is editing, set is editing. So let's keep initial state will be state false. So as we import the user, so we need to use class and also we need the edit value as well, because we need to see the edit value as well. So edit value set edit value use state. It will be the to do initial state, so to do dot text. Now let's do it, design this portion. It will be in motion. We need to import motion from file motion dot ali. So we have to think about the motion dot ali. Same way, we just need to copy this transaction here, copy all the transition here. We have copied all the transition. Now we will check first and now let's give the option that's we want to show in class, that our class, then we want to show is flex justify between items center rounded, we want to show rounded excel, and let's px padding left right 4, padding top bottom 3, and w will be full. Now if we save it, still don't happen, but we see again it's looking good. Now we need to check first is editing, whether it is editing to. So if is editing to, then we'll give editing option, like let's say input field. Let's import the input field. Let's copy our input field from where I have created. So we have created here. Just copy the, I have to copy the full things. Yeah, I have copied the first things and just paste it here. So here now the value will be now edit value, correct? And on chance instead of set input, here we have to paste like set edit value. And now if we save it, still there is issue. Don't worry, we will fix that issue. And when enter, instead of on it, we need to create another function, like let's create it, let's name it const handle save. Let's name it handle save. Here we will just if let's check if edit value, no edit value, trim. We don't want to extra white space there. Then just if no edit value, then return. We don't need to call the API again. Or if edit, then we need to call the API. On edit, then to do ID, and also we need to call the edit value. And then set editing will be false. So this is the approach we have to follow now. And here instead of on it, now we can call the handle set. Okay, and we want to, here the BG will be transparent. BG will be transparent, and let's keep the margin line 3 because we need that autofocus. No need this option. We want to have the autofocus. Yes, there will be a span. Let's say class name. Text gray. And here we will show the title to do that we're getting from the page. So we see that all the titles are showing, and its design is very clean with title. And now we need to add the edit icon here. So how do we add that? So we need to add the edit icon on the left. So for that, first we will use the div. We will put flex, and our items will be center again to shrink ml3. So we have put margin left key. Now check first if is editing is true, then we need to go show a button. Text screen. And here we will show the check icon. Check. Let's give a size to 20, because if true, then, and if false, then we want to show the same. Just copy and paste. We want to show the pencil icon, pencil icon. Let's give a cursor to pointer. Let's change the color to blue. So that is the cursor would be pointer here as well. Now here in the on click option, let's keep on click. In the on click we will have to set is editing will be true, and here on click we will call the handle shape. Let's check it. Yep, let's just save it. If we have click here, but we have missed our okay. Now we need to fix that well, because we have missing our to-do text here. Instead of it to be the title T. Now let's check it whether it's working. It's fine, it's working, and it says that fails to create because we don't pass the edit value. So if we check in our own page, here we don't pass our edit value, so we have just pass it ID, but we don't edit value, and edit value will be this is our edit value. So now if we have edit and check it, let's say 8 and update it. Yeah, it's updating successfully. Now we see that it is updating successfully, and as it is now updating. Now we need to create a create a delete functionality as well. So for that, the editing person is gone, so this is now for editing. Now we will add same thing for delete. So if we just go and if we just paste here, so here instead of pencil, let's put in a delete. So we'll see the delete icon, and let's give the color to red. Okay, we'll read that, and here we will just give that, we'll call the on delete function and be the to do. If we now just save it, we can use the trash icon. This will looks good, I guess. Yeah. Now if we just save it and check it, it says failed. Let me check why it says failed. Do that. Let's go to there. We have the on delete function. It's calling the page.js. Here on delete we have the ID. So we have this still calling down. So we need to call this delete function. If we just now call it, let's check it, and if we call this delete function, yep, it's now deleting. And we have, if we just refresh the page as well, let's refresh it, we see there is 3 items. So if we now zoom in now, so zoom in, zoom out, we'll see that, and unfortunately our design is not in the middle. So let's fix that as well. Why our design is not. So let's go to in the global.css. Here we have to put like display flex. We use the display flex option, and we use the inline item center, justified item center, and what okay, so height. This is happening because in the abstraction, just explain. So let's figure out the issue why it's so it is happening because we use this w full. So if we have removed that, and let's give that menu and excel. So if we do that and now check, it will be in the center. That's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to our channel and stay with us. Thank you.